Hi, my name is Jan. Welcome to Pathways of Hope. Today's gospel reading comes from Luke chapter 24, verses 13 to 35. Here, two disciples are walking away from Jerusalem. It says, that very day, two of them were going to a village named Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. This is after the crucifixion, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus. And these two people, these two followers of Jesus, were somewhat confused, not exactly understanding what was going on. There were people reporting that Jesus had risen and appeared to them, and they couldn't quite understand that the person they were following, the rabbi whom they thought was the Messiah, had died before their eyes and is now being reported to have risen from the dead. So they were walking away from the place where it all happened. They were walking away from the place of Jesus' sacrifice, the place of Jesus' suffering, but also the place of the resurrection. In our own lives, when we face discouragement, confusion, when we don't know what is happening around us, we do tend also to walk away from the place of hardship, from the place where we are being asked to sacrifice. But here we see in verse 15, while they were talking and discussing together, Jesus himself drew near and went with them. Jesus himself drew near and went with them. And the same is true for us. Even when we are walking away from challenges, from hardship, from Jesus himself, he himself draws near to us, gets closer to us. The three of them go on in this way, discussing together the events of the past days, Jesus opening the scriptures to them, and them not recognizing that it was the Lord who was walking with them. But Jesus was revealed to them when they sat at table, and Jesus blessed, broke, and gave away the bread to them. Jesus is always revealed to us in the breaking of the bread, one that's in the Eucharist. Those of us who are Catholics, we recognize Jesus even more when we receive him, when we receive his body broken and given away for our sake. In the Eucharist, we recognize Jesus very present and very real in our lives. And so we want to receive that as much as we can, daily if we can. Jesus is made present and revealed to us in the Eucharist. Jesus is also revealed to us in another breaking of the bread, in our own sacrifice, in the breaking and giving away of the self. There is intimacy in sharing with Jesus' sacrifice, in sharing with Jesus' suffering on the cross. When we draw closer to the cross of Christ, we draw closer to Christ himself. And so Jesus is revealed to us in the breaking, in the giving away of ourselves. And lastly, these disciples find themselves actually going back to Jerusalem with a mission. They are told to tell other people what they had just experienced, that they had seen Christ himself alive and present with them. Nobody encounters the risen Christ without being sent on mission. The same is true for us. When we encounter Jesus alive and present in our lives, we are called to proclaim that to other people. We are called to share that good news with others so they too can encounter Christ risen in their own lives. May God bless you.